Assalamu alaikum. I really pray for all of you. And I pray that you try to keep yourself at best happy as you can. I understand these are very trying times and they can weigh heavy on you, but still try to enjoy one good thing, that your semester is not wasted. You have done your best and you are the force that took this semester further along ahead. The third president, as I said, the last three presidents that we will be talking, is Barack Hussein Obama. And isn't it wonderful that in this time of our lives, we saw history, a real history in making. In the same United States where African Americans could not go to the same restaurant, could not travel in the same bus or in the rail car, there was a president from African American, Barack Hussein Obama, and interestingly, having a Muslim father. The elections of 2008, where Barack Hussein Obama emergence of a new president, of an unexpected candidate, and people saw that this may be the beginning of a change in the United States. President George W. Bush had served 2 terms, so he was constitutionally prohibited to contest for another term of presidency. The Republicans chose as their candidate Senator John McCain, and a Vietnam veteran he was. He was respected for his heroic resistance as a prisoner of war. McCain possessed strong foreign policy credentials and was a relatively moderate conservative on domestic issues. He chose as his running mate Governor Sarah Palin of Alaska. Much admired by Christian evangelicals and cultural conservatives, she drew almost as much attention as McCain himself. But interestingly, in the late 2007, it seemed nearly certain that the Democratic nomination would go to Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton of New York, the wife of former President Bill Clinton. She had quickly established herself as a leading member of Congress and possessed a strong national constituency among women and liberal Democrats. However, she faced a phenomenon that not unusual in democratic societies, a relatively unknown but charismatic challenger whose appeal rested not on ideological or programmatic differences but on style and personal background. Barack Hussein Obama was only in his second year as a US Senator from Illinois, but his comparative youth and freshness were assets in a year when the electorate was wary of politics as usual. So was his multicultural background. His father from Kenya, his mother was a white American sociologist born in Hawaii. He had spent his early years in Indonesia, where he attended a Muslim school. After his father left the family and his mother died at an early age, he had been raised by his grandmother. These family crises notwithstanding, he became a successful student at 2 of the best universities in the United States, Columbia and Harvard. His personal style mixed a rare speaking talent with a hip informality that had great appeal to younger voters. Americans of all ages could consider him an emblematic representative of their society's tradition of providing opportunity for all. Barack Obama was a sense of freshness, coming back to Americans' basic values. After a close, hard-fought 6 months for party caucuses and primary elections, Obama eked out a narrow victory over Clinton. He made Senator Joseph Biden of Delaware his vice presidential selection. Most measures of popular sentiment indicated that the public wanted a change. The two candidates were ahead in many public opinion polls as the fall campaign season began. Any chance that McCain and Palin could pull ahead was ended by the sharp financial crisis that began in the first half of the September and sent the economy crashing. Economy is a great divider and a great agent for change. Caused by excessive speculation, risky mortgage-backed securities, and other unstable investment vehicles, the crash led to the bankruptcy of the venerable Lehman Brothers investment house and momentarily imperiled the entire financial superstructure of the nation. Fearing a general financial meltdown, remnants of the darkest days of the Greatest Depression, the US Treasury and the Federal Reserve engineered a troubled asset relief program that was funded by a $700 billion congressional appropriation. This program kept the endangered investment banks afloat. What it could not do was stave off a sharp economic collapse in which millions of Americans lost their jobs. That November, the voters elected Obama President of the United States with approximately 53% of the vote to McCain's 46%. His first year was inaugurated president on January 20th, 2009, an atmosphere of hope and high expectation. In his inaugural address, he declared, "The time has come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward that precious gift, that noble idea passed on from generation to generation, the God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measures of happiness." I unquote. He proclaimed an agenda of remaking America by reviving and transforming the economy in ways that would provide better and less expensive health care for all, foster environmentally friendly energy, and develop an educational system better suited to the needs of a new century. Speaking to the international community, he pledged US cooperation in facing the problem of global warming. He also delivered a general message of international engagement based on compassion for poorer developing countries and respect for other cultures. He said, "To the Muslim world, we seek a new way forward based on mutual interest and mutual respect." The speech revealed the wide scope of Obama's aspirations. His rhetoric and his strong personal presence won wide approval, so much so that in October he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his goals. But as always, in the complex system of American representative government, it was easier to state large ambitions than to realize them. Obama's other major objective was the establishment of a national healthcare system, and that had been a goal of American liberalism for a long time. With large Democratic majorities in both houses of Congress, it seemed achievable. However, developing a plan that had to meet the medical needs of more than 300 million Americans proved extraordinarily difficult. The concerns of numerous interests had to be dealt with: insurance companies, hospitals, physicians, pharmaceutical companies, and the large majority of Americans who were already covered and reasonably satisfied. In addition, a comprehensive national plan had to find some way to control skyrocketing cost. In the spring of 2010, the president signed complex legislation that mandated health insurance for every American, with implementation to take place over several years. When it comes to foreign policy, Obama sought to reach out to the non-Western world, and especially to Muslims who might interpret the American military action in Iraq and Afghanistan as part of a general war on Islam. America and Islam are not exclusive and need not be in competition, he told an audience at Cairo University. In Tokyo, he reassured Asians that Americans would remain engaged with the world's fastest growing region. While hoping to distinguish itself in tone from the Bush administration, the Obama government found itself following the broad outlines of Bush war on terror. It affirmed the existing agreement to withdraw American troops from Iraq in 2011 and reluctantly accepted military plans for a surge in Afghanistan. In his Nobel acceptance speech, President Obama quoted the celebrated American theologian Reinhold Niebuhr to the effect that the evil existed in the world and could be defeated only by force. At the conclusion of his first year in office, Obama remained for many Americans a compelling personification of their ideals of liberty and equality and of equal opportunity. But the United States also, in this time, maintained a sense of continuity, a set of core values that can be traced to its founding. They include a faith in individual freedom and democratic government and a commitment to economic opportunity and progress for all. The continuing task of the United States will be to ensure that its values of freedom, democracy, and opportunity, the legacy of a rich and turbulent history, are protected and flourish as the nation and the world. Then they can move only towards 21st century. Like Clinton had Hillary Clinton with him, Obama was very, very fortunate to have Michelle Obama with himself, a great speaker, a great mind, and she could talk on the issues that meant a lot to American citizenship. So thank you so very much.